All right. Welcome to another edition of Interruptions. Today, I have a legend in the game. He and his brothers have turned out hits after hits after hits for themselves. I'm talking. They've done stuff with Lisa Colt Jam. They've done stuff with Patti LaBelle, James Brown. They've been in House Party 1, 2. Paul Anthony from Full Force. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, family? How are you, man?
I appreciate you blessing us with your presence, man. I really do.
So I
Uh,
love
you,
it.
you, you
So,
guys, uh, you guys' catalog is so huge, man. From singing, to producing to songwriting. So I'm not gonna go way back because that's gonna take too much time. So my first question was is what came first actually? Was it the full force as the group, or was it you guys production and songwriting for other artists?
well, definitely Full Force as a group came first. I mean, before Full Force was a group, before we got together with our cousins,
Uh-huh.
the three brothers, we were doing a lot also just performing, and performing everywhere. Anywhere there was an open opportunity on the street, clubs, festivals, flea markets, we was always performing, and
Okay.
then when we got with our cousins, we took it a whole nother level.
Okay. The reason I asked that question was because I remember being in high school, right? And you guys came out, but it was like you came out, then there was Lisa. I mean, man, you guys was hitting hard, man. And then there was, Cheryl, Pepsi, Riley. So I wasn't sure, because sometimes the group can come out before the artist that you're, writing or producing. So that's why I was curious to what came first. Was it the album for Full Force, or the artist that you guys had put out?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, man. So yeah, we was always the group first. The success came
Uh
from
huh.
writing and producing. As a group, we was the hottest band in Brooklyn, no question. So as performers, Full Force came first. That was the origin. But in
Okay.
terms of success in the music business, it
Mm-hmm.
came first with writers and producers.
Okay. What if you can explain? I don't know if you can explain it, but what is the Full Force sound?
Oh man, that's easy. This Full Force sound is lush harmonies, heavy drums. I don't care if it's a ballad or up
Right.
tempo or mid, heavy drums, full harmonies, and there's a certain vibration. There's a certain street vibration, a street element within the music. Sometimes it's not what you hear; it's what you feel. So we
Right.
always gave feeling in our music, a certain nice urban hard street feel to the music. So that was it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I loved it because it had a lot of edge. When even when you guys put out Lisa, it still had edge. It had a street edge to it.
Right. I mean, I think we're credited with being the first to really bring in freestyle dance music because before Lisa, there was nobody. There was no Gloria Estefan. There was no Ricky
Right.
Martin. There was no Jennifer Lopez. With Lisa, we brought in that whole freestyle, urban, Latino, street pop, hip hop flavor. So we were the first to bring that in.
I want to give you kudos, you and your brothers. You guys did something that a lot of people don't do today either. Is when you guys were introducing, like Lisa and Cheryl Pepsi Riley, Roxanne, you guys did it in an effortless way where it seems like they were just part of your clique, right? But
Right.
it didn't look like at first until we, found out later that you guys were the driving machine behind it.
Right.
It just made it look like a house party. Like, okay, Full Force was partying over here. They telling you, come check out my girl Lisa. Okay, now come check out my girl. So, and little did we know, at that time, because there wasn't social media like it is now. You
Right.
guys was the driving force. So I give you guys a lot of credit
Yeah,
of putting people out and let them have in their own space and lane without
yeah,
it making it seem like this was a full force production.
absolutely, man. And then we was always on the crest of that, always pushing the brand before building brands was popular and before
Right,
engagement was popular and before influence was popular. We were one of, not the only, but we were one of the many that pushed all those elements. With us, we just kept coming. Before Roxanne can cool down, boom, we said we're gonna feed you with this new Latin hip hop, and then
right,
boom, feed you with this new Jack hip hop with Alice, I Want You Just for Me. Then we're gonna come back with another UTFO smash, then another
right.
Lisa, Can You Feel the Beat, and then Samantha Fox. So with us back then, it wasn't social media, it was social feedia. We just, you understand? We just gonna keep feeding you, and that's what we did.
And you did it well, my friend. You did it well. How satisfying has it been all these years to work with your family? Like you said, your cousins, your
Mhm.
other two brothers, Be Fine, Bow-Legged Lou. How gratifying is that to be in this industry, but to be able to work with family?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, coming right in from the beginning, we was always about family, and Lou pushed that more than any of us. Then I pushed that. It was always the team, and then B was always with. I mean, we was always together pushing the family element. The cousins were like that too. So, just coming together and evolving and making our parents, all of our parents proud to know that what we were doing since we were all young and starting in our basements and in
Right.
East Brooklyn and coming together. And I mean, it's definitely a testament to just persevering, just staying what you believe in and don't take no for an answer.
Because how did you guys get into movies like Crush Groove, and the house party um um
The brand,
brand?
yeah,
How did that come about?
well, I mean, first of all, that was instilled in us in a very, very early age. Once again, because
Okay.
our father and our uncle Cito and my dad, may
Hmm.
rest in peace, they taught us that a singer is an actor. You
Okay.
understand? So when I got with young singers, whether in the studio showing Nicki Minaj how to flavor her vocals and singing, or Britney, or Fergie,
Okay.
or Lee, it was always don't sing the song, become the song. And
Gotcha.
that's just something that we learned. So coming on, and then as we came up, our late manager, Steve Salem, he shared an office with his close friend, Russell Simmons. The office
Okay.
was like, it was a little bigger than a bathroom, the office. You know what I mean? And we started, so it was always a click, us, Curtis Blow, Ron, Andre Harrell, may rest in peace, Russ,
Yeah.
Rick Rubin came and brought my boys, the Beastie Boys, and we all started together. So
Right.
Rush Group is loosely about Russell's life. So it's like, okay, we're all there. Boom, let's do it together. And that's really how that started. LL, everybody was all one
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
How did you guys get into the because it was funny to watch you guys at house party because I had been knowing you guys, following you guys, since I was in high school. I was like, man, they're not no high school guy. If they in high school, they done got left back a couple times.
Please, we put a whole new meaning to the word super duper 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 senior plus. But
Okay.
But once again, there lies the power of the element of energy, because our
True.
energy was so strong, and the way we gave off was so larger than life that you totally even didn't think about that. You were already engaged in how mean we
Correct.
were, and the chemistry with Kid and Play, and the chemistry with each other, and the vibe that you didn't even think about that. And that's kind of been the mainstay with us as a group. Our energy persevered. I mean, back then everybody wore Jerry curls, and we was all
Yeah,
rocking
I
to every
had
art.
one.
Oh yeah, we all artists, but because our image was twice personified, it became bigger. So Full Force was known for that. But that's always been a good thing with us. Our energy was just as big, or if not bigger, than the music. Our energy, our presence was always bigger than the hit record, you know. So, you know, it
My
was a
one
good
of
thing.
my you know one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when you and a kid are sitting in the principal office and she said ask you why did you call his mother a garden tool and that was that was just like okay she's not from the hood she doesn't really know
Right. And I'm looking like, what? You know,
what
there's so many gems from that movie. It's unbelievable. I remember I was home writing and I got a phone call, and this guy came on the phone and said, "Hey, man, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Reggie. And a good friend of mine, Robert Ford Jr., he told me that he knew you guys because in my script, the script
hmm
says the bullies were muscle bound Jericho guys like Full Force. And Robert said, "Hey, why get like Full Force? Why don't you get Full
get
Force?
full
Those are my
for
guys." And he called me and he said, "Hey, I'd like to send the script over." And we're always open minded. I said, "Hey, listen, man, send the script over. You never know. I'd like to check it out." Sure. He said, "Thank you, man. I really appreciate it." And Reggie sent me the script. I vibed on it, and I was like, "Oh, this could be hot." And I turned it right over to Lou because
uh-huh
that was Lou's natural element. Even when we were younger kids, Lou would always buy these little toy projectors and put on
okay
shows. This is his element. So right there, Lou just started saying, "Hey, man, this is crazy. Yo, B, they have you as Pee Wee, they have me as Zilla. Let's switch roles, B. Since you and Paul are muscular, you be Zilla, I'll be Pee Wee. I'm gonna talk like this throughout the whole movie." And when I say Lou, he did not only talk like this throughout the whole movie, he talked like that throughout the whole day. You know, Lou's known for being a jokester and putting on stickers on people's backs. So everybody's like, when Lou come out the trailer, like, "Hey, George Clinton acting like, oh no, this Robin Harris is, oh, this fool here." You know, everybody, you know. But it was a wonderful, once again, back to the energy. Everybody from Kid, Play, Martin, Tisha,
yeah
AJ, Chip, it was all vibe, man. It was all love, you know, and we see each other right now. It's still all love.
you could tell, man, because you know one of the things, another scene I loved about that movie, you know, like they had you, like you were leading the pack, you know, for Lou and B. And what was funny is, remember that scene where you guys showed up at the party and they dissed you, and you said, then you gave the bats, and then you got the gasoline, and you like, yeah, let's do it. And they looking at you like, hold up, dude, you going too
Right.
far with that.
Burning house.
Bird, yeah. You was like, and then you looked at them like, oh, y'all fronting on me? Y'all
Right.
fronting on me?
Yeah. So let me tell you something, man. I can't wait to get the House Party Bullies CD. That joint gonna be fire.
Oh, what?
And I know them very well too. I'm cool with them with the House
Okay.
Party Bullies. The House Party Bully CD gonna be hot. You know, we're gonna have some features. You know, one hit's gonna be called, of course, "I Smell, I Smell, I Smell." That's the
I
first one.
got you.
That's the first hit. Another one's gonna kick your freaking ass. Then the beat's gonna be you run around town like a sucker in heat. Me and
Eat,
my boys can't be beat. No
beat,
matter
beat.
where you go, I can smell you like gas. We're gonna kick your freaking. You got the silly and locked in the icebox, with nowhere to go. Come on, man. The hits just keep on coming. Come on.
Man.
You know,
Oh,
come on.
and you know the other song that really lit the soundtrack for that was Ain't My Type of Hype. Man, y'all
Yes.
put that thing down.
Yo, man, that's a blessing, man. You know, that's gonna be in the album too. And to know, I mean, that was definitely led by Baby Jerry. He led that one, and he wrote that. And I said, oh, I mean, we had no idea that it would be so timeless. I've seen it in, I think I've seen it in 9 different languages. I've seen at least 100 young couples get married and dance to that at their wedding. You know, and
Wow.
then my goal has always been, even before we discovered Lisa and even before we
hmm
wrote Bass Curtis Blow, my goal has always been to live forever. And the way you do it is what you leave off, the energy that you leave. So to
Gotcha.
know that there are over maybe over 100,000 of kids that were not born, but they sure know that song and they sure know that movie. And wherever we go, we can't be stopped. So it's made us kind of in vogue and timeless. And so it's a blessing, man. It's a
My
blessing.
daughter, I mean, my daughter is 21, and my daughter knows who you are because when I told her, I say, "Hey, I'm about to interview Stapp from House Party." She was like, "What?" Because she watched, she came behind me, and of course fell in love and watched the movie. She knows the scenes and everything. So yeah, you guys moved on to the next generation. How was it? How was it? Or not? How was it? How did it come about with you guys working with people like James Brown? Because you guys brought James Brown. You guys put James back in the game.
Yeah,
Britney Spears, Patti
yeah.
LaBelle. How did you guys start working with artists like that?
Man, once you out there and you can see that your flavor is very diverse, the phone
Hmm.
starts, So the fact that we dropped, first song we did was Basketball for Curtis Blow, we co-wrote that. But then
Right.
the first hit that people knew is when we did Roxanne, Roxanne. So, and then I remember Columbia put it in all the newspapers. Columbia is getting into hip hop. We just signed
Right.
the guys who Lisa, Lisa, and Roxanne, Roxanne. So we was entrenched in hip hop. Then we came back with the Latin, the Latin pop with Lisa
Hmm.
Lisa. But I mean, we knew that it would go beyond that because All Cried Out, we knew All Cried Out would stand the test of time. I remember telling
Right.
Lisa back then, I tell Lisa back in 85, I said, you're going to be doing this song 30, 40 years from now. I told her that back in 85. So that song broke it open. Then when you heard Head to Toe, Lost in Emotion. Then when we did
Yeah.
Samantha, I want to have some fun. So everybody listening can see, okay, these guys are very diverse. So the phones was ringing from the pop, from the hip hop, from the R&B to the legendary. It was coming from all angles, man. It was a beautiful time.
Yeah, because I remember when you guys started, working with James Brown. I mean, it was also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were letting James know, like, hey man, there's some money on the table that you leaving out there. Like people sampling your stuff, you need to get paid, man. So you all guys wasn't just writers and productions. I give you and I tip my hat to you that you guys understood the business too. You guys wasn't no fools.
No, 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 absolutely. I mean, once again, early on, it was never about the music. It was always about the music business,
Right.
And I received my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree in accounting, and I did that so I can, know what the year-end statements are and do,
Mm-hmm.
my accountants and do numbers, So it was all about the business. The business excited us, just as much as the music, So
Gotcha.
early I knew it was important to have several revenue streams. That's why we managed all our artists, and then we were producers, and then we were writers, then we were performers, we were actors, we were singers. We want to make sure that there were no limits, So always knowing the business, and always, we knew about the touring and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
Wow.
early on, what we do.
Now you've been through a lot. You battled cancer and came through strong. You've been man. When I heard you was battling that, and then I saw an interview with you, and you were talking about how after you came through it, you was back lifting. You still was working out, and just what got you through all of that? When you was going through it, the chemo and all that. What got you through?
Um, um, many things
Yeah.
got me through, with the Paul Anthony Cancer Champion Foundation, I coin a lot of phrases. So
Okay.
one of my phrases I use is alignment for the assignment. Sometimes who you align with, who you shoulder with, who you rely
Mm-hmm.
on is just as important as you doing it yourself. You
Okay.
know, the same mentality. As long as you know they're there, you're fortified. It's like working at the gym. If I'm doing 3 plates on the bench press,
Mm-hmm.
um, If I have a spot, he don't have to touch the weight. But just knowing he's there, my confidence is going to be strong to push that weight.
Gotcha.
Same tools we use in the gym, working out, same tool we use in life. So when you're talking about alignment for your assignment, it's coming together. So people came together. So it started with my belief and the energy that was sent through me from the Father. It starts
Right.
there. So I had to interpret what it meant. This cancer, and
Mm-hmm.
when I third going to the fourth stage, and so right after I already knew that had nothing to do with me, and it's not going to change my constitution of who I am.
Uh-huh.
I started immediately going to work within myself, before I got to the doctors. And then I had the energy of my brother Lou, my brother B, my wife Michelle, my dad, his wife Jackie,
Okay.
my family, friends, my cousin. It was fortifying this. It starts with you within. So I
Okay.
had to have a nice talk. And when I talk to the big guy upstairs, I talk out loud. I
Right.
was like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Let me think about this. Okay, I know it's not time for me to go. And I was like, okay, okay, I understand. I know what this is about. You have purpose for me. You have a new season for me. So
Wow.
you want to make sure, and we're not even on first name basis. We're on first initial basis. I said, yo, G,
Okay.
what you planning? What you got? And he said, yo, P, listen, here's what we're gonna do. And I said, I got it. He just wanted to make sure that my words of life and death is true. So sometimes you have to be put on the precipice, on the edge. So now when you're feeding purpose and you're doing his will, there's believability, there's longevity within the films, the music,
Wow.
and the person. You know what I mean? So I knew that okay, when, not if, when he brings you through this,
Right.
there's there's work to do. There's work to do. So I kept remembering, okay, there's things I have to do. And then, nothing is more fortifying than having something or someone to live for more than yourself.
Right.
So from my family to my children to my wife to the millions of people that I knew, when I got through this, I was going to meet, touch, change, and engage with. I said, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I got things to do. So I just kept that in the forefront of my mind.
Well, man, I salute you because you are more than a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror, man. And that was a good, man. You just taught me a life lesson. So, yeah, man, I appreciate those words. Um, what is better? I mean, because you guys do it all, man. So what? Because I know B and Lou couldn't, be here. So that's why I kind of, when I'm asking you this question, I'm incorporating the whole full force family. What do you think is more satisfying for you guys? Is it when it's just full force, you know, you and your brothers and cousins, y'all doing your thing, or it's the production side of you guys exposing other artists out there?
Right. You know what? In all honesty, I would have to say all of the above, to be really honest with you,
Okay.
because man, it's funny. I remember we went to, I think it was Madison Square Garden, and the Backstreet Boys sold out.
Right.
And as we were getting there, I looked to Lou and I say, yo, y'all, we about to hit the stage. And it was nothing Two Boys and Backstreet Boys, but I know how to transfer that energy and vicariously live through my artists and my songs and my production. So the fact that they're on stage, I was on stage, and I'm
Gotcha.
feeling it, and how rewarding it is to know that a song that started in its embryo stages in your kitchen or in your basement or while you're working out, and to go to some place to see 60,000 people singing the song. Please. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm loving that just as much as it was ours. So all of the above, man. And back in the day, that's how it
Okay.
was. When we was in the studio producing artist after artist after artist, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to go on tour. And then after being on tour for a long time, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get in the studio. So in the end, everything feeds everything. Yeah,
I got
yeah,
two more questions for you.
sure.
This first one is: does it trip you and your brothers out that, like when you was talking about the Backstreet Boys, and the Britney Spears, the people that you guys have written for and produced, that people, I mean, when it first comes out, people don't even know it's a full force production. Like, you take these guys from back in the 80s with the Jerry curls, the muscles, right? And you are influencing
Yeah.
another ethnic group. There's sometimes you guys sit back and they just trips you out like, man, they don't know.
Mhm.
They don't even know.
Right. Right. And it does, you know. But we were masters at letting people know it's us. We were always masters at pushing the brand and making sure. That's why on Lisa's first album, you
Hmm.
see Lisa Culture Jam with full force
Right,
because we're the driving force. So why not, our fruits of our labor be there to push our brand as well as theirs, you know?
right.
So I remember when before the world even knew about a Backstreet or NSYNC, before they even knew. I remember after we finished rocking both of them, we called at the time Diddy had the hottest restaurant in town, just
Right, Justin.
right. So I booked out the room in the back. In the back had a big grand piano. And I waited till I think it was the hot night was either Tuesday or Thursday night when it was packed. And I waited till it was packed. And
Uh,
as soon as it was, we got there in a super stretch limousine, I think two of them, and all everybody saw was full force walking with all these white kids and all these white dudes. Just a trail of us going from the entrance of Justin's
uh,
all the way through, all the way back. Everybody like, what they up to? You know? So we did that purposely to send the word. And then about 4 or 5 months later, boom, the pop explosion hit, and then people remembered and the word went around. Yep.
wow. My final question for you is, and I ask everybody this because I'm just curious, what inspires Paul Anthony?
Well, I think today, I mean, what inspired me in the day was just creating and being a
Mm,
creator, born with the gift of song, of melody, and being creating. And then uh, early on, my training, my fitness, I've inspired hundreds and thousands of professional athletes and actors and singers and
mm-hmm.
fitness around the world. So that was inspiring too. But then when I beat the three cancers and two bone marrow transplants, the graft versus host disease and everything like that, what inspired me, it's a combination of being inspired and being instructed. So what
Gotcha.
now is knowing that I can touch a life and change a life and save a life. That's it. And the song that we have out now, it's called The Love of a Hero. And
Okay.
originally that was written by one of my writers. He's a talented guy, Atu. He'll be coming out real soon. You'll hear about him.
Okay.
His name by Clinton Hill. You'll hear about him. He
Okay.
allowed me to he allowed me to take his child, which was that song, and dress it up, put on different clothes. So I
Okay.
flipped it, rewrote the words. I made it about the love of a hero, and it's based on my brother Lou, who was my 10 for 10 donor match. And it was a
Wow.
blessing. But the way we were raised, if it was B, he would do the same thing. We did the same
Right.
thing for each other. So Lou was my 10 for 10 donor match. So I wrote it about him. And then when this pandemic came, I was like, oh no, there's purpose right here. I don't want to miss this opportunity. Let me flip the lyrics and write it about these first responders, people on the front line, people dealing with this, the doctors, they're the tip of the sword saving lives. So that's what I
Right.
did then. Now, oh man, now it's gonna. I mean, right now it's. I flipped the lyrics again to make it about Kobe, my little brother Kobe Bryant in heaven.
Man.
Yeah, it's out right now. The version out is called "A Love of a Hero." Kobe Changed the Game remix. The video is awesome. It's going to be blasted worldwide. Italy, his hometown, and then once again that song. I mean, it goes. You can be a hero if you want to be. Just show and give your love. Stand next to him and me, and let's share the love worldwide. That's the love of a hero. A hero rose in your heart. I mean, it's a smoking song. It really
That's
resonates.
beautiful, man.
This one here, you see Kobe, you see love to Gigi, love to Kobe. A lot of
Yeah.
our friends, I put them in it. Oh yeah, man. And you know, I was trying to get to everybody to say, hey man, I'm gonna do this and get to this clip. And you know, some of this stuff I didn't have time to reach to people. But you know, I mean, some of the pieces like, oh man, you gotta make sure you get the approval of so and so, so and so. And that's true. But I'm the type of guy that when I receive instruction, I don't seek
You just
permission.
go.
I just move. I just move. You know, he's got
Yeah.
my back. Just move. You know, the purpose is right, so it's all good. Yep.
Well, I appreciate you coming on interruptions, man. And you man, listen, you blessed me more than you know, man. Not just with the interview, but man, just the things that you've said, man. Myself, my cousin Charles, man, we have been big fans of you guys for years, man. And I would love to have you back on again once
Thank
every once you finish doing what you're doing, because I know you're busy, you and your brothers, but we want to most definitely have you on again, man, and keep living your life, man, with purpose, man, like you're doing, and keep blessing us with what you're doing. So stay safe and stay blessed, man.
Oh, thank you, man. And I mean this with my whole heart. When I receive that blessing from the brothers, it's more than I get it from the women. The women's going to come because you know they're beautiful, they're lioness, they're queens, and they all want to be close to the fire, and that's what we
Right.
all have. But when I get it from the brothers, and we're not hating each other, and we're feeding each other, oh man, that's just as strong as medicine, man. So I receive you, and I thank you. You and your man Charles. Tell him I said what's up. I mean that, man. And y'all want to get
Okay.
at me? My IG is at the real Paul Anthony. My foundation is you know, it's palivelife.org. You just check me on IG. My brother Lou has a wonderful foundation as well, Hope with a Vision. And we got some exciting things coming, man. Some
I will
exciting
get
art, music. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get all that, and when I post this, when I get ready to post it on my YouTube channel, I'll have the links underneath so everybody can
Oh,
go to link and see everything that you guys are doing, man.
thank you, man. Appreciate that. Okay. Okay.
Peace out.
One love to my girl, Christina Clark. You know, she's the conduit to the energy. Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Thank
Peace
you, family.
out, man. Love you.